Hamlin, will you call the roll, please?
Yeah. Chairman Lee
Here.
Mr. Lambert here, Commissioner Bowles here, Commissioner East here, Commissioner Landers here, Commissioner Hunter here, Commissioner Anthony here. All present.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. And by the way, the minutes are in your book. So can I get approve the minutes from March 13th?
Motion to approve the minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Thank you, Byron Rhythm. Thank you. Ruling.
He on the phone.
Jim, you there?
I'm here. Good afternoon or good morning, everyone.
Probably need you to speak up or.
Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Okay. I'll try to speak up the best I can. We had rulings 20 through actually 33 since the last meeting, and out of those rulings, 3 of them were for disorderly conduct in the stable area, 1 for intoxication. We had 4 for prohibited substances, 3 careless riding violations. There was 1 violation for another riding infraction where a rider actually made physical contact with the other rider. And we just had 1 trainer responsibility ruling. All in all, we had quite a few fewer rulings this year than we did in previous years.
Very good. I'd like to thank you, Anna Stewart, from the Racing Commission, because y'all had several things to deal with, but I don't think we've had any appeals on y'all's decision. Is that correct?
We actually had 1 appeal for a careless riding violation that occurred about a week ago, and that appeal was withdrawn today.
Good job. That's like when they got out of the Army and said, know your name, you know that you did a hell of a good job. And thank you,
Thank you so much, and thank you for letting us serve.
look forward to this next year and have a good meeting in Indianapolis.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen.
Now on our new business, we're back to motion on the rulings.
I moved the rules to be confirmed.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Got 2 Steves making the motion on approving. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Now let's go to new business. And a couple of things, let's get out of the way, though we might jump around. It won't take much time, and some people could leave, and that is a consideration approval. Oak Point application for racing days 2024 through 25 racing season.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, thank you. You should have, you can help me. You should have before you the proposed racing calendar for our next racing season that will begin Friday, December 6th, and we'll race on the weekends through December. And there won't be any Thursday racing. We will race except till the last Thursday. We will race on the Martin Luther King holiday and the President's Day holiday in February, Martin Luther King holiday in January. And we won't race Easter. It's a total of 65 racing days. We proposed last year 66, and we lost 5 and made up 2. So it's similar just based on the calendar. And we will end on Saturday, May 3rd, similar to on the Kentucky Derby racing day. That'll be May 3rd in 2025. And so that is our proposal for consideration, and the horsemen have gotten together and approved the calendar as well.
Mr. Juan, it sounded like there was a little give and take, but everything got worked out and everybody's agreed.
Moved a few days here and there, got to agreement.
Again, thank you for coming in. And while you're up, my understanding is y'all also worked out the deal with the Arkansas horsemen on their pay on the purses
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was worked out between Eric and, I'm trying to remember who sat down. Anyway, they told me they had come to agreement on both sides.
Good deal.
All right, do I have a motion on the racing dates for next year?
Motion to approve the racing dates.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Motion passes.
Thank
At
you.
this point, congratulations to Oakland on a heck of a Kentucky Derby.
Oh, it was great. Our connections were in the Oaks and the Derby. That's spectacular. It was a few times that the same connection, the same trainer and jockey have won the Oaks and the Derby. Only just a
Yeah.
handful of times in history.
Jockey Club's gonna have to pay us some attention sooner or later.
One of these days.
While Skip's up here, they normally, Oakland normally presents their license request at the same time they do race day, for doing it separate this year.
And we've done that in the last, and we'll do that within 90 days before the racing season. So,
Somebody gets there.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Let's see if there's something else that would release anything. You're gonna do let's go ahead and just go with the Polk County. You're sitting there ready, and let's go with the Polk County application and scoring function.
Commission, as you all are aware, the rules that you all promulgated are in effect. They went into effect April 22nd. And so moving forward, this is the next step and stage. I have provided you all with an application for casino license. Those of you that were on the commission previously recognize this. It is the same application with a header added to it, and there was a change in the state police link to Form 122, so I have changed that link so it goes into their system. I have left on there for your approval the application fee amount of $250,000. The rest of this application is identical for y'all's review and approval to move forward. This would be the first step, is the application, selecting an application.
That's the only change. The chair would entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the application for casino license.
Mr. Post has made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a second. Mr. Lambert, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Mark that as unanimous, please.
The next item that I've provided y'all is the application criterion and score sheet, which sets out, this is going to be the same 4 items that are contained in the rules that have to be scored that you all also have previously had on a criterion, and the point levels were 30, 10, 30, 30, and it is spelled out a little more details, including the manner in which you all as a commission would score at the bullet points below. If y'all have reviewed that and want to discuss that, I can answer any questions regarding that. Essentially, each one of you would be provided with a score sheet for each applicant. Then you will total the scores per criterion. For example, experience conducting casino gaming, you all would total that and vote as a commission on that score. And you would do that for each one of the criterion per the way the rules are laid out, that each criterion has to be voted on by the commission. That will then total up to potentially 700 points total. And then you would rank any applicants from highest to lowest.
All right. Do we need a motion on the scoring or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion on the scoring?
Motion to approve the scoring criteria for the score sheet.
Second motion.
Mr. Post got a motion and a second. Application criterion and score sheet. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
The next item is your notice of the casino gaming license applicants. This is the notice that's gonna go in the newspaper, and I will need to, essentially, you all to decide on two things, on this. The first is going to be when you want to open the open application process. The requirement is, per the rules, that the notice will be put in the paper the same day it opens. So I've provided you all with a publication timeline based upon the newspaper of the date that I submitted or the commission submits it to the newspaper and the date it would be published, as well as to provide you all, because I know that we are going into the summer, sometimes travel season, the last date the applications will be accepted, as well as the possible meeting. There is a requirement that you all meet and close the application process. So you all have to officially close the application process. That date that you all close that application process will also be the date that starts the 30 business days to which you have to select the application. So I have those dates on a timeline for you all in your binder, as well as the manner of publication. There has been a change in the manner in which the newspaper publishes legal notices. So it will be published, except for Sunday, it would be published in the Little Rock digital and print version. Statewide legal publications that only occur on Sunday. So I have in this diagram for you all the date submitted, date published, last date to accept applications, and then possible dates to meet, as well as the manner of publication for you all to review and discuss.
Going on quite a while. I'd like to see you start as soon as possible.
The earliest date that we can get it in the newspaper is if we would have to submit tomorrow, because the deadline ends at noon on the date today. And so if we submit by noon tomorrow, the date published will be May 9th. The last date accept applications would end on a Saturday, June 8th.
And any problem with that, depending on Saturday?
There are some questions. Typically, if an office is closed, they've accepted applications on the following Monday. And that will exceed the 30 days. And so there could be some potential for litigation over that matter.
Okay.
Work at it.
So if you want to avoid that litigation, you can have it published where the first Monday through Friday.
I think that's the route we ought to take.
Yeah.
Take anything off the table that we can.
I'm looking at potential litigants out there right now.
And I know the fees. So, the dates, now you want to use?
So the dates, if you all want the last application date to accept applications to be on Monday, June 10th, then it would be published on Saturday, May 11th. And we will put it in the paper on Thursday, May 9th.
Can I say that one more time?
So if you will look down at dates submitted, if we submit it to the paper by noon on Thursday, May 9th, the published date would be Saturday, May 11th. Last day to accept applications would be Monday, June 10th, and it would be, the manner of publication would be Little Rock digital and print.
So then we could have the following meeting anytime between June 11th and 11th.
Yes, so the following meeting date would depend on when you all close the process, not accept the last application date, but close the process. The rules require you to close the application process. And so I think the safest route would be to have a short meeting where you just officially close that process. So the recommendation on that would be to have that meeting on June 11th, the Tuesday following the 30th date.
And then we would have to,
Then you have 30 business days from that date going forward to select the applicant and score them.
And something on the date published, you got May the 11th, which is Saturday. We're talking about this is the only coverage they have up there is really on the Sunday paper.
For legal ads, my understanding from my communications with the newspaper is that the only statewide legal ad publication occurs in the Sunday newspaper.
Okay. So what is that one we have in here, they published on Saturday, May the 11th. Am I missing something here?
So if it's published on Saturday, May 11th, it will be published in Little Rock on the digital or the Little Rock subscribing area.
Okay. So I guess what I'm asking is, do we need to change that to the 12th?
I think that's a decision you all need to make. That's for you all to decide as to whether or not you want it to be published statewide. There is no requirement in the rules or the amendment that mandates one way or the other.
But it could leave the door open to be criticized if we don't. Is that a fair statement?
That's a fair statement.
I dodged that one.
We're getting smarter.
It took us 5 years, but we're getting there. Okay.
That takes us down to the fourth day. Either, or we could publish,
Can we publish on the 12th?
we could submit on Thursday and then publish on Sunday.
Yes.
Or do that, right?
As long as it's submitted by noon on Friday before the date you want to publish, the deadline for publishing on Saturday or on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday is Friday at noon.
All right. So we do that, and with the publishing on Sunday, where Polk County would be in that, I think that would be the correct way to go.
If I may also make a recommendation that we post this on the Racing Commission's website as well, so they have that information accessible through that means as well.
Yes.
So can we review that? We're gonna submit it on the 9th, but we're gonna publish on Sunday the 12th, correct?
Yes. So the date to open the application period, if that is the selection you want to go with, would be that you select to open it, the application process on Sunday, May 12th.
So the application process will start on the 12th. And
Do you see any other issues?
let's excuse us for a second. Excuse us. Gus?
Yes, sir. All right. Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
do we have any other issue with publication that you can see? Might jump up. Because we want this done right. I mean, is there anything else?
Not that I'm aware of.
Doesn't have to be done right, it just has to be done. Judgment proof.
Quick question on, you're referring to 30 business days and everything I see here is calendar.
Yes, and I see that on the last possible date to meet to award. We did do that off of calendar, but it does, the rule does say business, so I'll recalculate
Okay.
those dates.
Well, how many dates can we make in this motion? In one motion, or we need several separate motions? All right. Well, so if somebody would word this, I would do this, Mr. Anthony.
We need to Commissioner Anthony, you're on.
Before y'all go down that road, there has been raised some concerns regarding opening it on a Sunday, because the office will not be open on a Sunday, and that would short them by one day.
So how would that affect the timeline we're looking at here?
So that would move it to being published on Monday, May 13th, with the last date accepted on June 12th. And we would still send it to the newspaper on Friday, May 10th,
Well, I think the reason that the chairman wanted it published on Sunday was because it was statewide.
statewide.
But you're saying that could be people don't want it published on Sunday? If they don't want a casino notice published in the Sunday paper?
I'm just saying that was something that was brought to my
Yeah,
attention.
well, I don't think that's a law
We
problem.
extended a day as far as,
It will have to end on 30 days. You could publish it.
We can either publish it Sunday, so the entire state sees it, or for a different day. And the only downside of publishing it Sunday is that
People with tax don't get to see it.
the blue law people don't want a casino application published at the Sunday paper, which I don't think we need to be concerned about that.
And that's the only day that it will cover, I think it has a good chance of covering. Okay.
Is that correct?
Right, Sunday is just gonna give everybody, the residents in the state, the opportunity to see it.
Yes, I think every resident should see it.
Shorting it a day as far as the process.
But with that, the difficulty you're gonna come up with is that the office is not physically open to accept applications on the day that counts towards the 30 days of applications.
It's been on the 10th, open on Sunday the 12th.
You could, if it's submitted on May 10th, you can request it to run on either Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday with that submission on May 10th. The concern is as always that the office isn't, the same reason when the office is closed on the last day, the office will not be open to accept that application on the last day. One way to potentially help with the concerns of the commission regarding all the residents being able to see it, I think would be by posting it on the website for the racing commission so that it is still viewable in a manner that residents of Polk County and around the state could see it. That could also circumvent the concerns regarding the need for a statewide publication. The rules don't mandate a statewide publication, and the amendment doesn't mandate that. So that is a preference for that you all.
But you're saying if we select Sunday as a date of publication, then we should have Wednesday, June the 12th as the last day to accept, because of the one day you said.
We cannot, with the rules the way, and the amendment the way it is written, the 30 days will count on the day that you publish the newspaper. So you will have to start your 30 days counting with the date it is published in the newspaper. So if you publish it on a Sunday, that opens up the publication date on a date that the office, it would not physically be open to accept applications.
Well, there's going to be 4 Sundays during that period where the office is not going to be open to accept applications, correct?
That's correct.
So why does it matter if it's the first day or the second day or the third day?
The Sunday one doesn't bother me as much, as long as we get it published.
Yeah, and if we think it's important for it to be published statewide, then some people don't like it in the Sunday paper.
That's technology, problem, not ours. That was what was brought up.
There's plenty of upsetting things in the Sunday paper.
Okay. You want to put it?
So, and correct me if I make a mistake here, but I would move that the notice be submitted on Friday, May the 10th, published in the Sunday paper on May the 12th. Meeting the last date to accept applications would be June the 11th.
Secretary. Got Landers. Got 2 Steves, he second that one. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Please show it. Unanimous.
The other issue in the rules for you all to vote on today is it requires you all to set out the manner in which the application shall be submitted and accepted, whether, and what that is interpreting to be is whether it is submitted digital, thumb drive, or paper copies. I think in the past, you all had them submit paper copies the last time. I do not know whether or not you had a digital submission as well, but they will have to submit payment with that application. So they're going to have to come and bring that payment. So it's just a question so that we meet all the requirements of the rules as to whether you all want to you all need to set out whether or not they also have to put a paper copy, a digital copy, or what manner.
Could they do either?
That is up to y'all's decision. You could- They could do either or both.
Either or both, but. Counselor, you said anything? Mr. Glenn. He's not practicing much at us.
I think we defer to Orleans, but.
I think it probably is gonna be what would be easiest for staff to transmit to you all, whether it's already in a digital format, that's what, in addition to. So my recommendation, either have them submit just a paper or do both, but I would not do just a digital format.
So,
Like the suggestion.
are you gonna say both?
Yeah. I'll make a motion that, the applicants are required to submit both digital and a paper copy of the application. Second.
So,
Oh, Chairman.
usually,
The last thing for you all today, well, actually, there's two more things, is you,
Oh, I'm sorry. We got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Yeah, that shows you now. Thanks.
the next item is that you all will have need to have a consultant to, when the applicants come up here before you all for, your scoring. In the past, you all used Mr. James Fox. I provided for you, for those that were not here at that time, a copy of his resume. It is y'all's decision on whether or not you want to move forward using him again at this time, so that DFA and the Racing Commission, Smokey, can start getting him lined up. I have spoken to him. He is available and willing to act as your consultant, but before they move forward with solidifying his retention, it needs to be a decision by you all want him to be your consultant.
Chairman, I was not on the commission during the last proceeding. This consultant is required by the rules.
Yes.
And what exactly is his function?
The role that the consultant provides is to provide answers to
Okay.
questions, and potentially the last time he was a consultant for the commission on the applications, he reviewed the applications and provided a report regarding his review of those applications, and he or she is required to be in attendance at the meeting where the applicants appear and answer questions, to also assist you all in answering questions that you may have of the level of expertise regarding the applications.
So will he be here in person this time?
There is a capability of doing it by Zoom. There is no requirement he attend in person, so that we can work around scheduling.
We pay him.
What's the fee?
I do not have any information regarding his fee.
And he was one that helped us put all the rules together, not just on this part. He's familiar with Arkansas, understands what we're working with. It's been easy to
with the veterinarian.
when our counselors would let us access it, put it that way, in the past. So I would, my feeling is stick with somebody we know that knows the lay of the land, and he certainly has the credentials.
And this is also something, if you want to approve, and it'll depend on your schedules, whether or not you want to have another meeting, you can always approve Smokey and DFA moving forward with consulting with him, and that he could come back with, the cost that it would be. If you were more comfortable with that, that is also an option.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Friend, what did we pay you last time?
It was 100 total. Yeah, I think this is a lot less what you're looking at. Because he was in from the very start on the rules, all the way through.
Yeah, my understanding is he helped with advising on the promulgation of all the casino rules going forward, the oversight and working of the casinos. So he was a part of that. So that was a substantial amount of that invoice.
I would think we would need to have some idea what its fee is before we approve.
Can we go ahead and do it like you said, and just let, Mr. Campbell and get that through the DFNA and come back on where we have a hard number?
Yes,
When would, what's our drop dead date for hiring this?
but he's gonna have to have a sufficient amount of time to review those applications and provide a report. So this, I mean, the sooner you all could come back together, even if it is a Zoom meeting, the better. I'm sure that we can get with him and get a more definite amount within the next couple of
I'm fairly
weeks.
certain it was 150 for all the work he did the first time. Because I remember making that comment. That was,
But he won't have all the work to do this time.
no, it should be substantially less.
And you're gonna let us look at it this time, is that correct?
The report, it's your report.
Yes, ma'am.
So it wasn't attitude last time.
No.
Couldn't read the report?
No,
Could not rely on it.
What's the point of
We'd be
it?
better off taking that $150,000
that was my question.
and taking it to the White River Dredging Basin and throwing money off the people in Newport.
I called him one time. That's right, I called him one day, when are we gonna get a report? And the Attorney General's office, back, he said, I don't know if they want you to have that. But basically, because I was at the Cracker Barrel when I was having a conversation with him.
They told us on the day.
Yeah, but that's where we rehashing history, and I apologize.
Well, I need some history because I wouldn't be.
You're lucky. But,
So we don't need to hire, there's no reason to hire him before June the 11th because we won't have the applications until June the 11th.
You will need to, for his ability to review those applications, my recommendation would be to have a meeting before that to solidify his contract and his availability, because we are also working around his availability, and so he will need that time to review those applications as they come in.
Does it matter if there's one application or multiple applications? So he'll still have to be hired even if there's one application.
He will still have to be retained even if there's one application. The rules require that, and the amendment requires you all to look at the history and experience in the gaming and in the casino industry is what the amendment requires as a consideration. In order to actually fulfill that out, the rules require you all to score the application. The scoring of the application is our evidence in litigation that you all have followed the requirements. And in that also requires you to bring that applicant in front of you. And so he will have to be in attendance per the rules, regardless of whether it's one application or four. And I know that seems,
Right. But I guess that his work, the amount of his work would be significantly less if there was one application versus two.
it would fluctuate depending on the number of applications, yes.
But you say he needs to get this before
He, June the 11th is when he'll get the application.
but he needs to have it, we need to have him hired before that, correct?
we can basically do that, get the figures on the cost. We can have a phone meeting to go up or down on that decision.
Yes.
Whichever way.
And I'd like to see his fee schedule determined by how much work he has to do. And if there's one applicant or two applicants, if there's one applicant, he's really not gonna have a whole lot of work to do.
I think that somewhere, I won't come up with the number that I think it is because I make a mistake that way. So why don't we just go ahead and let them check it out through DFNA, let us know back with the number and then we'll act.
Right.
That suit everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the only other thing is you all need to consider setting that date to close, for a meeting to close the application process, which would be, let me look back, make sure I don't tell you all the wrong date. Which would be June 12th, if you all want to go ahead and put that on calendars, whether that's a Zoom meeting or an in-person meeting.
For June 12th, that's the quickest, is that correct?
Yes.
I'd take a motion on doing it on the 12th. I know what, I have no idea where I am. Sorry.
Oh, I was just repeating it, June 12th.
That's the sentence, correct?
Yes,
I'll make a motion that we, have the closing meeting on, the 12th. Is that Wednesday, June 12th?
yes, sir.
Wednesday, June 12th.
Motion on June 12th. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a second, Mr. Post, Mr. Lambert's motion. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. June 12th. At the normal scheduled time.
Chairman, that is all I have for this stage.
Thank you very much, and it's been, my compliments again, because she has been very forthcoming, getting everything done so far, and has let us look at everything that we need to look at. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else have any final questions or anything? Thank you. One other. Thanks. Do we, Skip, need to do approval on the Arkansas breeders on their agreement?
I'm not in the loop on what they wanted. I think that they have reached an understanding, but that would probably be for the breeders to present, unless they wanted it on the,
I don't.
I would defer to them and have them present that to y'all.
Okay, we'll have that, let them know to have that for the next meeting. Or if there's some reason they have to have it now, we could even do the phone, or something like that on. Okay. Now, we got approval of a license.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm very good. We have 3 sports betting companies that are reporting for approval for their new licenses. Obviously, the applications, process their fees, and any approval. The sports betting are data and odds betting, sports betting waivers. U.S. integrity is sports betting integrity.
Okay.
Quick question, they're just providing information for you guys to make your lines, or what is this
They
information?
provide to the vendor platform.
Okay.
Or to the casino operator platform.
Okay, well, and all of those are the same thing?
U.S. integrity provides to me whether the new status integrity body, to make sure that what we're providing is the integrity compliance.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, on the license, we have a motion.
Motion for approval of licenses.
Have a motion. Approval license, U.S. Integrity, All Sports Data, and Swiss Analytics Arkansas, Inc. All those in favor, please. Oh, got it in a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, sir. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And, you want the game?
There's 49 games to be approved, CLI approved, Jennifer approved. Speed of life.
Ms. Jennifer is approved. I'm all for it. Got a motion to approve. Got a motion. Landers, second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Steve, all right. There you go.
Steve, there you go.
Yeah. That's good. All those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Again, please let it show that it's unanimous. Now, I understand, Mallory, we got, I'm sorry, Secretary, have you got something that you want to go over? You was telling me about,
Jennifer,
you know,
this is gonna be smoking.
okay, after, it's not during me, that's what we're going on. I'm sorry. Mallory would be not included. Is there any other business at this point? I'd like to, as we get further along, I'd like to get reports from other participants. We have all ones racing, which from my viewpoint went very, very well. And that's mainly because the complaint level, I never heard them, so that was good. And it was well received, well done at Kentucky, so. And Harrison, want to hear what's going on there, and at Delaware North, if they have something. But I'd like to make sure we keep a clean runway so we can finally get this done one way or the other. And that, if anybody have anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion, second to adjourn, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Ayes have it, unanimous again. Thank you.